Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place. A veritable Camelot of the nuclear age.
And this thing is...
What are you doing?
You know what? There we go. This cable's in the shot. Deal with it. Okay, so what have you brought?
Asahi.
This is what we have when we have a biru with ramen, isn't it?
It's a Japanese beer. Would be. Yeah. I've already drank, so I can't really cheers you properly, but that's a good crack. Go on then.
Cheers. There we go. We're here.
We're back for the reviews. Oh, don't do that. It's not ASMR.
Love it. What's happening, guys? We're back in the room with Tony Maloney. Mm-hmm. We are. I've finally managed to convince him to do the Last of Us. No, that's not it. That's force of habit, isn't it? Yeah. Fallout.
Based on The Last of Us.
We're basically only reviewing TV shows if they were video games first. That's our niche.
Well, we've done one, and now this is the second one. It just so happens to be a game.
Yeah.
It's not what we do only, I think.
It is until we do it otherwise. I'm just gonna mute all these other things. I don't know if that will make a difference.
Should be fine.
Okay, cool. So, not Last of Us. Fallout. Here we go. I made notes. So yeah, we're a bit late on the party. I'm sure everyone who's interested in Fallout has seen it. If you haven't seen it yet, I would probably say watch it, but watch it after watching our videos.
Yeah,
it will enhance.
We'll keep it spoiler free.
Well,
we can't really keep it spoiler free without.
So as far as they know, we haven't seen the whole season so far anyway. So we're only watching it episode by episode. Spoiler free? I don't know. Nah, it's no fun.
Yeah.
Do we have to? Do you want to do a non-spoiler and then a spoiler? We can do a quick non-spoiler, and then we can do a spoiler.
All right, go on then.
So quick round up episode 1 of the Fallout TV series. Non-spoiler review. Tony, go.
Okay, so I actually wrote notes. So you've got your notes. I've got my notes.
Oh, you got your own notes.
So my notes were pretty...
non-spoilers.
Oh, very non-spoiler. Well, it's basically not. So it said for the first episode, strong start for all characters, decent backstory on them all.
Yeah.
Did well for world building, the Vaults, the Brotherhood, and the Outlaws. And I wrote, drops trowel, okie dokie.
Drops trowel?
Yeah.
What's that?
Drops trowel, okie dokie.
Oh, okay.
So that's not...
without
being spoilery, that's non-spoiler.
Okay,
that's non-spoiler. That's until you know what it is, that means nothing.
Slowly leaning into spoilers. I'm going to leave a still image of that situation. There's flies in here. Anyway, yeah. So first episode looks really good. Mm-hmm. I got to say, the first thing that I thought when I first watched this was the sets, because yes, the vault is in a space, so it can just be a set. But it looks really good. We're very much used to people using the volumetric background thing, but these are real sets. Inside the vault looks really good. And I do believe this is one of the best openers that I've seen in a long time of a TV show. The first scenes would just look really good. And is it a spoiler that in the Fallout show there's... an explosion. The explosion looked really good.
I mean, it did. It went really well.
I liked it. I would even say that nuclear explosion looked better than any explosion that I saw in Oppenheimer.
You know what? Saying that, it actually did. Yeah, because it was also very slow as well, which is like ominous.
Yeah,
most bombs are like fast.
Just trying to say the distance. Trying to show the distance.
You had like a lot of time to think and be like, what's going on over there?
Yeah. But yeah, it looks really good. I think the main protagonist absolutely smashed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, she obviously holds my attention. And I feel like I'm watching a show that's in the Fallout universe, and it doesn't feel like it's just pandering to me, probably because I haven't played a Fallout game for a while, so I'm not recognizing all the nods, but yeah. I like it so far.
Yeah, all I've seen from Fallout is the boy, the sort of the thing, the main boy character, Fallout. And it's like bottle caps. That's all I know of the show.
Yeah.
So there's vaults, there's bottle caps, and there's a boy.
Vault boy.
That's all I know about the show. So I'm coming into it from a completely new point of view, and I thought it was a very good very good opening for a
Nice.
show. I sort of understand.
So,
roughly
from someone
the world.
who's only vaguely aware of the Fallout franchise, you enjoyed it as just pure
Yeah.
a watch, and I feel like that's it for the show. That if you're kind of casual, it ticks boxes. If you're really deep into the Fallout lore, I think you'd be disappointed.
You can nitpick it if you knew
Yeah.
more about it.
Yeah, I think that's with any kind of show, which is why people get upset because the real fanboys are just
like The Last of Us. I can compare it 1-to-1 with the show, with
Yeah.
the game. I was like, this scene wasn't good. Whereas this one, I'm just like, it's all good. I've got nothing to compare it to.
yeah.
I am just
Fair
the normie population watching this.
Yeah, but it's fine. We enjoyed it. So there we go. That's our non-spoiler review. If you haven't seen it, go out and watch it. It is a good laugh. Of course, we've got other shows coming up soon. We've got The Boys.
Oh yeah,
Season 4. Have you seen the?
I have.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
going to be. I'm actually rewatching the entire thing.
In anticipation.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I might
just,
just watch season 3 just to sort of refresh.
Well,
One was great
It's
though.
a bit of a drag going right from the beginning because there's so much to go through. But
Yeah.
I think I'll appreciate it for going through it all again. And when is The Last of Us?
November. I
November,
think.
so-
Yeah, filming's already filming's finished for one character already. they're closing filming.
Fuck.
So they think November. I've been watching on the subreddits. November.
Keeping an eye on it. There you go.
So hopefully before the end of the year.
So yeah, these are other things you might see more videos on. But it gives I enjoyed tonight just to chill and watch.
Yeah.
Even though I've watched it already, I didn't say that. You didn't know that. But yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to sit down and do it. Even today, I've been running around getting stuff ready in the house.
It felt like a short film. It was like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, it did feel shorter than the first
But
time.
it covers 3 characters well. It's not like it's this guy's rushed, this guy's They all
Yeah.
had a few big follow-up scenes, setting them off for the season. So they've got a good... The structure's already there, which I quite liked.
There's parallels. It feels like there's like 3 different characters, kind of like The Witcher when it started. There's 3 different characters or whatever, and you could, they're all in separate situations. So, yeah, it's a good strong start. So we're going into the spoiler side of things. What do you want to talk about first, Mr. Maloney?
Let's go for your notes. What was your first note?
Not spoon-fed.
So that was about... Yeah.
Well, there are some shows where you feel like you're seeing the exposition being fed to you, and in this show, it doesn't necessarily explain everything.
No, it
and
doesn't. You have to piece it together.
I think that the first scenes with the cowboy, if you didn't even know it was about like nuclear explosions, it could be a surprise that it happened so quickly.
Yeah, it was like within the first 5 minutes.
So yeah, I feel like it doesn't treat the audience like a baby too much, at least at the beginning anyway.
Yeah, I think that was what I liked about it the most. It's just like you have to piece it together. There's no, this is this, I am this. It's just literally like, yeah, you sort of just, they've built the world and then you have to just follow the rules of the world to establish what's going on. And that's what I like.
Yeah. So yeah, we were discussing if Skyrim would actually make a good TV show.
Oh yeah. I mean, I only said that because it was like, oh, it's Bethesda and their biggest game to date is Skyrim, but you think this is a better show to make?
Yeah. My argument was that it's the setting that makes Fallout like really unique. The fact you have the stuff before the explosion, after the explosion, all the different factions and vaults in their different experiments and stuff like that. It's a really unique premise. Of course, you've had nuclear holocausts in cinema, but it's not as common as, say, Game of Thrones, say, The Witcher, these kind of fantasy settings with dragons. There's many shows that have done dragons better than I think a Skyrim could do. So, yeah.
Yeah, so this works better than Skyrim as a TV show.
Yeah,
primarily.
I think it feels like a more unique setting. I don't know how they would go about adapting Skyrim to.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of walking through a fantasy land. At least Skyrim is a lot
Lord
of
of the
walking.
Rings as well. Then there you go.
Oh, just journeying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is a good show. Again, I just feel like I should have played the games or at least knew something about them. So you said about the Vault, the experimenting.
Yeah.
I know none of that. Don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, well, you seen? Okay. Well, before watching the show, you didn't know anything
No,
about
I had no idea.
any of the experiments and stuff. Yeah. There's little hints of things that, you know, obviously, like within the games, it kind of feeds you the narrative in kind of ways that you come across things.
You're like reading text.
Yeah, reading
or
text and
listening
stuff
to
like
someone.
that. So, yes, there's an overarching main plot, but there's lots of little snippets of things. Yeah, in the actual game. So, yeah, it's just nice to see it adapted clearly on the big screen, as it were. Yeah, we already talked about the sets looking really good. They do look really good.
Was that a real projector, do you think? Or was it all CG'd? That sky they had in the background of the...
I don't know. I would like to say
field.
yes. Like,
It did look...
I think there's...
Do they exist?
I think it's cool when they're allowed to make things look shit on purpose. Like, that's exactly how we
didn't
wanted
look
it
bad
to go.
though. Like,
Well, it didn't look bad for what, but it's not the sun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to look like a projector. Like,
Well, no, one thing I liked as it go into the vault door, there's like you see a close up of the projector and you can see the pixels, so it is a real pixelated image,
yeah,
which makes you think back then they wouldn't have had pixels because their projectors were
Back
a film. Was
This is-
it's
it's-
60s tech, isn't it?
yeah.
They're using
but it's a
film.
fantasy
Yeah.
setting, even so.
So actually, having pixels is actually a bit of a plot hole there.
Yeah.
My immersion, yeah, it's gone.
Oh dear, the whole show's ruined for Tony. The blood is good. That even though it's all fluffy, that
But there's lots of it.
there's still a few gory moments. Some of the things in put in for shock value, where the
Oh yeah.
the Brotherhood guy is just masturbating in his bed.
Yeah, the shot
Even-
pans across, just a guy wanking, and then
But,
there's the
like,
real action.
It's I guess that's supposed to tell you, oh, they're sex deprived.
That fact that's probably what it was.
Yeah,
But it-
that's the intent. But there's women there.
It
There's
didn't
women.
come across
So
as that. It just came across as shock value
it
for the
wasn't
sake.
explained necessarily beyond the fact that that character is, he doesn't know what to do when he's approached sexually.
Yeah, I guess
That's later on again, but lots of spoilers.
so. We've seen the show now. This is different.
Yeah. Just forget those
Still-
bits.
yeah.
I'm just talking generally about the show. Whatever. Fuck it.
I don't know what experiments there are.
Yeah. One thing that really bugged me though is when the overseer had to choose between his daughter and the other dwellers.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't. Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's a really bad choice. And when he picks her, you're like, oh shit, they're all done for. Their faces didn't look shocked. You know, normally they'd be like,
Yeah. So
We're done-
how
we're
could
done.
you choose our demise, our death?
yeah, and then
So what if he chose the other ones? Then are they?
well,
just,
they had a gun on his daughter, so
would they have killed his
I
daughter?
guess that was the choice.
But they didn't kill the other one.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean. It doesn't make any sense. That's why there was a choice.
So maybe they would stuff the rest of the dwellers in that cabinet, and his daughter would have to run instead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also, how is blowing the door to Vault 32 going to stop 33 from functioning? They're still in a vault. They're still safe. All it does is just rubble the door. It doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just enjoy the show at face value, how pretty it is. As soon as you start trying to pull it apart, the first time I watched it through, I forgave a lot of the inconsistencies because I was enjoying the journey. But as soon as you start thinking about
Why?
and oh my god, this was set up and then it didn't go anywhere. So yeah, a lot of that happens. The Brotherhood suits look cool.
These are the mechanical suits.
Yeah, I'm really glad they kept with the design from the games and how clunky they
Weirdly,
look.
I think I've seen that design on the cover art of a game. So I think
Yeah.
it looks true to what I've seen, which is not.
There
from the
are
game.
different designs within the universe, but that's the more popular.
They mentioned that in the show. He's like, what model's that? And he says
Yeah.
it's the model, the P60 or whatever.
Yeah. And how clunky it looks. It just doesn't look like a useful piece of tech. It doesn't look like a mech suit. It's just a clunky piece of protective armor.
Well, yeah.
Like it's not really actually that usable.
But no, it looks good.
And the Ghoul grave intro. What do you think of that? Where you meet the cowboy again as a ghoul at the end.
Well, again, you don't know I don't think you're supposed to know it's him just yet. I mean,
Yeah, because we said this, we're both confused over who exactly
it took me
he was.
a while to realise, it is the guy, because
Yeah.
the voice is the same, but it's just, he looks, without the nose, it takes a lot of his face away, and it's like, who is that again? And then you see him finally, you're like, in the daylight, you're like, maybe it is him.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was.
I think they did a really good job on his nose.
I mean, what annoys me not annoys me, but those three characters that they introduced him with, they're actually good characters. They look like they're interesting people.
Yeah.
And they're gone within 5 minutes.
Well, no.
The black guy
they
was
look like,
he was a good. I liked he had interest.
The main one of the three
Yeah.
that was doing most of the talking, he did seem interesting. But to be honest, even on my first watch through, as soon as I saw them, it's like these are redcoats. Like
They're doomed.
They're fodder.
Yeah.
They're not there.
They're plot devices.
So the main one did survive slightly longer, and he fell into the grave.
He'd be a good actor for Barrett in Final Fantasy VII if they ever make a film. He looks exactly like the character.
I don't know much about that.
Yeah,
but
I've been playing a lot of
I think he
Rebirth.
sounds like him, right? No,
Probably does, but it's the look. He's got that
really?
look. Yeah,
you just need to make him look bigger and taller, no?
yeah, with a strap of gun on his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't played this game,
No,
guys.
don't worry about it. They won't ever make a film. It's all animated. But no, I like the Ghoul. Ghoul's a good intro. It sort of shows how overpowered he is already. I mean, 3 guys with a gun on him, and he manages to escape.
So the Ghouls are radiated zombies that just can't die, but they
As long as they have that liquid, whatever that gold stuff is.
need to be fed, because in the grave it had like blood
Like an IV drip.
transfusion IV drip down into it, so
Of
that's
the
keeping him
golden
alive in.
I mean, that sounds a bit like a horrible existence to be kept alive, just underground, trapped. In a box.
I wish they explained some of this. Why
Yeah.
he's in the grave? Who put him there? That would be nice to know, wouldn't it?
Well, no, he said about some
guy,
Reggie will come and play with you for 30 years.
Why?
Not Reggie. I don't know what the name is. The guy,
Reggie.
some random guy will come and play with you.
Goddamn Reggie. Yeah, but they don't explain.
Yeah,
it
it's not explained.
necessarily. So, but like this is it. They just go past things and to just set the world up and for you to enjoy the ride. I don't think it's the kind of ride that they expect you to get off and ask questions.
No. I mean, again, on first viewing, I was like, again, intro to the Fallout universe. I was like, I need to watch another. I mean, it was late o'clock. It was late at night. It was 1 hour 20. I was like,
What was your first episode of watching it?
I was just like,
You'd be like, oh,
but
they're going to explain some of this.
Raring for more. I wasn't just like, I'm slogging through this to get to the good bits. It was all, I wanted to watch it. So that's that's kind of a good show if you want to watch more.
In terms of the shots, some really nice anamorphic lenses, some nice barrel distortion. They're not using clean lenses. And yeah, the colors, the color treatment of it's really nice. It's kind of vibrant where it needs to be vibrant with the suits, the pullovers, but it's kind of dark and gritty where it needs to be as well.
I find the Brotherhood was very washed out. I don't know if it's on purpose, but there was like no color. The desert's white. They're in their clothes are very
Desaturated.
yeah. I don't know if that's the whole point. There's just no color in the Brotherhood, whereas the Vaults is blue and yellows everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that's a stylistic choice, and even the suits are all just mechanical, washed out metals. Yeah, there's not much color in the Brotherhood.
Yeah. But hey, it's a big undertaking to try and adapt for a TV show with all this stuff going on. There's a lot to explain to see to begin with. So
Yeah, I just like that they're actually now making good game adaptations, because there's been a track record for the last 30 years has been dire.
they ran out of superhero films to make, so they got to make video game films.
Since the very first Mario Brothers movie, it's been shocking.
What one was it? Mario Brothers.
Yeah. In the 80s, it was like classically. I've never seen it, but it was classically a bad movie of a game.
I'm talking about the new one, the more recent Mario
I didn't
Brothers.
watch that.
Have you not watched it?
No.
Because everyone says they love it, and I think it's trash.
I thought you thought it was okay. Like you knew what it was. You knew what it was going to be, which was an animated fan service.
Yeah,
kind of.
And it was that. If you were wanting that, I don't know what I was wanting out of a Mario.
You're not
Brothers
expecting
film.
a deep story about it's Peach in a castle and Luigi and Mario. I don't know if that's the story of the plot. I don't know if Bowser trapped her in a castle. I'm not sure. I mean, that should have been the plot because it would make just easy for kids to follow.
Yeah.
Which which is strange because kids don't play Mario anymore. Really, it's more for the adults that grew up on it.
Yeah, to be fair. But you can't make an adult version of Mario. Anyway, cool. So that was episode 1. Should we go to our score, our rating?
Yeah.
Totally non-biased.
Right. I'm saying 8.5, 8.5.
I think it was a really good.
In fact, I could even go to 9 on this episode alone, just on how it establishes the world.
I think this first episode is sick.
Yeah.
To be fair, like in its own little bubble,
It's-
I think it sets up the characters really nicely. Like I say, with the guy from the Brotherhood, I thought that was going to be a similar storyline like Finn from Star Wars, but they're going to do it right. I was interested by the Ghoul, but it seemed a bit by the numbers. I wasn't overly impressed with the Ghoul sequence. But the main character, the girl, what's her name?
Lucy.
Lucy, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lucy she's got depth. And one thing that occurred to me is just like all these characters have flaws. They're not afraid to create characters that are imperfect, and it makes them more relatable. And especially in this kind of world that's very different from our own, it gives us a vessel to see the world through their eyes, because they seem more approachable as human beings instead of perfect.
Exactly.
The only thing I'll say on that note is her brother literally is a passive kind of
Yeah, but he even admits
person.
that he is. He says
Yeah.
he's the coward, which is fine. Then you know what you're going to get from him. You're not expecting bravery and miraculous.
Yeah.
And,
That's his flaw. That's his character trait. Just
Yeah.
being passive and hiding. And yeah, the guy doing the drugs quickly before getting killed, the blood
the
splattering
sting.
up.
Yeah.
I did want him to see something happen from that. It just made his vision go blurry for a second that he died, and you didn't get
Yeah.
to see if that actually enabled him to have any kind of
So would it have
abilities.
been like a sort of
make him stronger.
adrenaline kind
I
of
think
boost?
so. Yeah,
is that what it would be in the game?
Yeah, like an adrenaline shot.
Yeah, he didn't really. He sort of jazzed himself up and then just got
Kind of tripped and just
bolted. Yeah.
chopped in half.
But no, the shots were really good as well. Yeah, with the whole Raiders, it was like slow motion, some 50s soundtrack playing just
Yeah.
to make it very whimsical that they're all being killed. But it was quite enjoyable.
Yeah, no, it was enjoyable. Like they all just seemed like savages. So yeah,
I mean, what is the story with the whole 60s aesthetic? Do you know, is that explained ever in the game? Why they've still got TVs that are black and white? Why the
what in the vault?
yeah, or even just in general, like even in the 2077 in the fallout at the start in the party,
Yeah.
it was 2077
Okay.
and it was still 60s tech.
Well, maybe they just the vibe.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever explained or not.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But yeah, I think I will give the first episode 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Nice journey. Main character really holds it down, and it really sets up interesting stuff for the episodes to come. So there we go. Should we call it there?
Think so.
Absolutely amazing. So we both gave a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's a high bar. Let's see if it continues on the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Catch you later.
Peace.
Well, you see, the idea is that we're going to save America.
And when exactly were you planning on saving America? The vaults were nothing more than a hole in the ground for rich folks to hide in while the rest of the world burned.